Hi, my name is Paul Applewhite. I'm on the board of directors for the Pacific chapter of the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. We're a trade organization that works on unmanned systems. In the Pacific Northwest, we represent 80 companies, 1,400 employees, and about $120 million in taxable revenue. That sounds big. I personally own a company with 3 people. We have a styrofoam airplane that we're developing to deliver humanitarian supplies. We're very much against this in that it is separating, say, what we've already stated, helicopters from unmanned systems. The backlash against unmanned vehicles has just caused the city of Seattle to cancel their unmanned systems. Back in May of 2012, you had Ian Stawicki, who ran around and killed 5 people. The longer this man was running around the city of Seattle, the more people he was killing. He pulled somebody out of his car, executed this individual in front of a crowd. My daughter, her school went into lockdown. To have this technology to just simply put over a school to say, we've got this school safe for now, or we can tell if somebody's coming in. Why are we denying ourselves this great technology that's now available? I'm also worried about, say, one of these parked over the top of my house and being used for surveillance by an overzealous government. I think that is a great issue, but you're adding reporting requirements that you're not adding on helicopters. You're having to get permission that you're not having to do with any other systems out there. Just by saying, if you pull this thing out of its box and use it, you have to fill out a report. Is onerous. You're asking kind of an undue requirement for police departments. They can be also used for something as simple as, here's a large traffic accident on the interstate. We just want to document what cars where, who did what, and just take a photograph of it. And this bill kind of precludes that from ever happening. I believe it was Representative Clippert that said, what if we just want to go and look over a bunch of cars and just to see if there's criminal activity, and you get into, well, which is first, the chicken or the egg? Is there criminal activity present, or are we looking for criminal activity that we suspect will occur? We urge you to vote against this. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Appleton.
Quick question. Do you, and anybody can answer it on the panel, do you think that this actually is related in a lot of ways to one-party consent, which we don't have in this state? We have two-party consent. And so having a new technology, which we've never used before, don't you think there should be some sideboards in such a way till we know where the technology is going and how it is used?
My opinion is that the way that we're currently using drones in warfare, we have moved away from indiscriminate killing to discriminate killing. And we now have basically a star chamber set up that can pinpoint somebody on the other side of the planet and zap that individual. And that makes a lot of people nervous, including myself. What are the controls over that? And I think a lot of people are nervous on that regards of who's governing that, who's in control of it, who gets to decide what person gets zapped on the other side of the planet, and I think that is a legitimate concern. But this is saying we have a technology that if we have an Ian Stawicki running around the city, we can park and go see if he's in the back of an alley and go for our law enforcement that have to now travel down this alley and be surprised by whatever they find, instead of saying, let's look behind what's on the other side of this wall, what's on the other side of this building, what's on the other side of this block, and give that law enforcement officer the information that he needs.
Well, I believe we're accepting those types of situations. That would be, if there's a crime in progress, we would have exigent circumstances allowing for the use of this technology.
But if you're saying an emergency, if you have, say, an Alzheimer patient that wanders off, is that an emergency?
Yeah, that would be a threat to individual personal safety.
What if it's good weather? I mean, what if your child wanders off? Is that an emergency?
It could be, yeah. Could be, absolutely. We're talking when there's a threat to human life or injury, whether it's search and rescue, a crime in progress.
But every time you pull this out, you have to now document it, which to me discourages the use of it. We give our police, our law enforcement officials, we do a careful screening, a lot of training, and each one of them has lethal force on their hip. And we're saying we give them the judgment to be able to pull this thing out and use it, up to and including lethal force. Why is this technology so much different to say you've got it in your trunk, pull it out, use it now?